We are live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I will not be saying Rob the Rogue Jedi because that is the old news. We have new news here today, but I do want to give a shout out to the High Council, the panel, as you see here. My awesome special guest. Hi, guys. How are we today?
Hey, what up, brother? How we doing?
Good. Yeah. Doing good. Guys, I'm so happy for you guys to be here on this awesome day where I get to reveal the new channel name. As you guys, I know everybody could probably see the logo on the other side. You're wondering, what's ES? What could ES be? So I'm going to mention that in just a little bit, but I do want to say that for whoever's here, I want to thank everybody for this long, epic journey and for this awesome panel who has been with me along the way and have been such an awesome crowd. I know Sarah's here. What's going on, Sarah? And Rainbow, Sweetie, what's going on? I do want to thank everybody. Like I said, it's been such, as you guys have seen, I put out a thank you video. I hope everybody saw that and liked it. And if you did, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. No, but like I said, it's been such an awesome journey. And I think it was about time that I made this change. So we'll be announcing that the new name of the channel will be, and I will be putting up the logos probably as we're doing the stream. And yeah, as time goes. So the new name is going to be the Eternal Sith. Yes, I have transferred over. I'm no longer a Rogue Jedi. I am the Eternal Sith. And with that being said, I have to show the new intro to the channel when the channel starts. This is what you guys will be seeing when the channel starts. So check this out, and I'll be announcing something right after. So guys, enjoy. Boom, 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 boom. That was awesome.
Loving that.
Thank you. Yes. So big ups to my guy Jim, who actually worked on that. So thank you so much, Jim, for working on that.
You're welcome.
Dude, I worked with somebody also too who I have to give another shout out to. Her name is Lauren. She actually is the one who made my logo. Big shout out to her. I don't know if she's watching, but she definitely thank you. She worked on my logo for a while, and like it took us a while, and also too took Jim a while too. So definitely awesome, definitely awesome. So thank you guys, thank you, and let's start the show. I mean, it's what do you? By the way, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think of the name?
Love it.
It's
I like it.
Okay, cool.
I'm on the dark side, so I'm gonna like it. So.
Let's go.
Even though I have all kinds of like Jedi.
I know you're like, but deep down, I am Sith. I am Sith. That is awesome. No, thank you so much. I'm super. Like I said, I've been working on this for a while. Like I've been thinking about it. It was like I had to do a change, and I just think it was the right time. It was due time. So. Welcome here. We are all I am Sith, and welcome to this Sithful panel here. No, so guys, we have oh my God, he actually made it. I didn't think he was gonna make it. Oh my boo made it. Sam, I'll made it, bro. Love you, Papa. Love you.
Big love.
So yeah, guys, this is awesome. I'm super stoked. So let's talk about it. Bad Batch. We had. By the way, I want to ask you guys. How did you feel about this episode? Before we go into it, I just want to ask: were we all happy with it? Were we pleased with it?
I was definitely pleased with it, except the only thing I feel like the same kind of the way I feel at the end of the episodes is that I just wish it was a couple minutes longer, and because what I find, it's just a little short. This one,
yeah.
Is it me or I was gonna say they are getting shorter. I feel like.
Every episode's been getting shorter so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one was like 23 minutes.
It's not enough. Something like that, yeah.
Give us a 70-minute episode every time.
I
know, like that would be awesome.
Yeah, dude. I would love to have that first episode be just like the first episode, 70 minutes every time.
First one was a banger.
Oh yeah, dude. But you know what it is though? You have to think about it, man. Listen, any show you get, you always have to start off with the bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have every episode be a banger, because if you do, after a while, the show kind of like it dies off. And at the end of the day, it's like, I've said it before and I'll say it again. They are not unfortunate, but they are telling a story. So I get it. So we see the Bad Batch, right? So it starts. Let's talk about how it started. You know, we do know that they're on their way to Ornamental, if I'm saying it right, correct? Ornamental. Ornamental. Yeah, I know. It's like a little, it's a tongue twister. For me at least. And I can't believe I got that right because I think I got the last one. Salukam, I think I got wrong. Or no, maybe I got it right. I don't know. But we see that they're going to Ornamental, and then what did you guys think when they gave Omega Crosshair's like communicator? Like I thought that was pretty. Like she was so stoked when she got that thing.
Well, she needs to keep running off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They need to keep tabs.
They need to. They need to put what is it? They need to put like a tracking like device in her. You know how like they're putting, so they put in the dogs. Like that's like so messed up to say, but they put the tracker in the dogs to locate. They need to put that in her. Like they have chips. Look, they're so advanced. They have chips and everything, but they can't put a chip in her to freaking locate the girl. My gosh, yo. No, but I thought it was pretty cool. It just shows like they're really like giving all of Crosshair's things away. Like they're just like literally distancing themselves from that, from him. And, it really shows me that theory of bringing him back is just kind of like deteriorating all the more. And I know, Mariah, you say yeah. So like you agree too. Like, what do you think?
I think obviously they're going to distance. They're pretty much giving up on Crosshair because I don't think he's going to come back. And I know I see a lot of people guessing that he's going to come back to the light. I don't think so. I think he's...
Yeah, you see, I did. I thought it was going to be a whole thing at the end that he was going to come back, but now they're giving his stuff away. I'm like,
I have to say something. I'm actually coming for Mariah today because I'm coming for you today for something that I think was it you who spoke the last time of Moff Gideon. I'm coming for you today, girl.
Oh yeah.
You know I'm coming for you.
This is playing on my theory. I'm telling
you.
This is
I'm coming for that theory though, girl, because I got you today. I got you. I did my homework. But anyway, I love you, girl. We're kidding. We're all family here. No. But so then, all right. So we see they land. I'm sorry. It's just funny. I hope that's not Space Wizard juice. I don't think he's gonna even say anything today. He's like, we'll just But anyway,
Rob.
Oh no! Oh no, Mariah, don't talk. Just don't talk. I don't want him to get. Actually, nobody talk here, please. We don't need him to
Robert, we're past this. I'm a responsible adult drinking gin and tonic.
No pun intended.
Anyway,
so we'll move on from that one. Anyway, so the next thing we see, they land there, and what do we see? This character they're looking for, Sid Vicious. No, I'm kidding. The character's name is Sid. We see that. What's going on, Julia? Thank you for hopping on. We see that they're looking for this character, yes, named Sid. And I thought it was funny because like literally they all come in and they're like, "Hey, where's Sid?" And literally like the character that is Sid is like, no, it doesn't exist. Like there's nobody with that name here. And I kind of like how Omega, and this is one of the things, that I'm really digging the whole thing of that force sensitivity stuff because she's just been guessing too many things the right way, So, hey, Keenan, what's going on? K Sith, what's good, my guy? Big ups to Sam with the shirt. So I definitely am leaning towards that. You guys could touch on that right now, but I'm definitely leaning towards that just because it's just proven there's too many things. Like the stuff with Crosshair, it's just too much that's showing me at least she's got to have some sort of force sensitive in her, just a little bit, because the fact that she went up to Sid and was just like, "You're Sid," like she didn't even say, "Hey, I think you're Sid." No, she went, "You're Sid." And the reason why I'll touch on that is because after I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but literally when she goes and says the Jedi always came to me, whenever like they kind of needed information or something like that, like that they used her for valued like insights. Now, again, we don't know what Jedi, because again, we never saw her in the Clone Wars, so I have no idea anything on her character. But going back to that, I thought it was funny when she got it right, and then Wrecker's talking, and what was it? Do you guys remember what exactly she said to Wrecker? She's like, "Oh, the big one speaks," or something like that. Does anybody remember?
Yeah.
I think he just said he speaks, or.
Oh yeah. She's like, "Oh, he speaks." But I thought it was pretty cool. Hey, he's still here, man. That's awesome. Doing 2 streams at once. I love it. So we see that, and then obviously, okay, so we see them going to like her little headquarters, and then after that, did you guys notice like the background in the room? Did anybody like look around?
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in there.
I was like, dude, I need that as a collection because I need what she got, like literally. So we don't just see like any old things. We see either possibly a Mandalorian helmet or a Boba helmet. Okay, a prototype.
It looked like that white prototype Boba helmet.
That's why I said it. Yeah. That's why I said it. Ravens. So I definitely am thinking this has to do a lot with Boba Fett. And did you guys see the two guns above her chin? Sits?
Those look like Django's pistols.
So they are. So I thought that was pretty cool. And you saw a lot of the clone troopers' helmets like just kind of laying like around. So you definitely know she was definitely involved, with the Republic during that time and everything. So I just would love to know who that Jedi was that she. I don't think it was more than one. I think it was just like one Jedi. I don't think there was. I mean, do you guys think that there was more? I mean, guys, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Obi-Wan had informants all over the place.
Yeah.
We know that. So could it be Obi-Wan?
I don't know.
I was leaning more towards Dooku for some reason when I saw it, but I don't know. Maybe
I thought Sifo Dyas.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of names that come to mind. I mean, it could be, to be honest, could have been any of them. I mean,
all of them.
Yeah.
Over a certain period of time.
I mean, for all we know, it could have been Obi-Wan, could have been Obi-Wan and Anakin, could have been possibly, another one too. Could it be Ahsoka maybe went to her too, passed by as she was like, kind of leaving, because she knew a lot. She knows a lot of the underground stuff. So could it be something where Ahsoka might have used her and came to her maybe to, because I think if I'm not mistaken, she goes to the unknown regions or the outer rim. So it could be something maybe she went to her, to find something maybe where she can hide out or something during that time, so could be one of those things. I'm not really sure. But so we see that, and then the show goes on, and obviously we see that there is a bounty for, obviously we know that, they're looking for Fennec Shang, right? Because one of my friends was like clowning me. He's like, yo, you say Fennec. It's Fennec, right?
I believe it's Fennec.
I think it's Fennec.
It is Fennec? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then, man.
You've been trolled, bro. You've been trolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. For real, bro. What's going on, bro? Trolling me over here, man. Making phone calls telling me I've been saying it wrong. What's wrong with you, fool? I've been watching it that said it. No,
I need a Funko Pop of Fennec, though. Where's that?
Yeah. What's funny? I'm surprised they didn't even come out with that.
It'll probably be, later this year.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. Big shout out for Fulcrum. There you go.
Hey, man.
There you go. So, no, man, I mean, I definitely, so we see that, and I thought it was funny because one of the things they literally tell them to do is, basically go do a bounty, go. What was the character's name? Moochie?
Oh, yeah, Moochie.
Wait, can you say it, Fulcrum? I like how you say it.
Moochie.
That sounds better.
Moochie.
It just has a bell to it. I don't know, man. Just Moochie.
The many accents of the British Isles,
Wait, Sam, you say Moochie. Let me hear you say Moochie.
Moochie.
Nah, Jim's is better. Jim's is better, bro. I love you, bro. You're my brother, but Jim's is better. No, Moochie. But Moochie. So I thought this was so hilarious. I'll be honest with you. Did you guys hear Omega when she's like, "We gotta save Moochie"? She's like, "We gotta go save Moochie." Like how she said it, like so assertive. Like I thought it was hilarious. I was dying of laughter. I don't know if you guys got to pick up on that, but she just said it really assertive, and I thought it was funny. But we see that happen, and they thought Moochie was actually that other character.
The little girl.
Yeah, which was really funny. And then they're like, "No, that's not Moochie." And so as time goes, and then what happens? They get captured, and then it's like, oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It really is becoming it is becoming a a reoccurring thing. But we'll get into that later, and we'll kind of go on theories after. So we see that they're going after to rescue Moochie, but then what happens? The Bad Batch they get taken. Yeah. They get taken, and poor Omega's got to save them. which I'm surprised she ended up doing a good job doing it because she ends up saving their butts.
Yeah.
You know, which she did a good job. I give it to her. You know, she has a lot of traits. I mean, I really give it to her. I mean, she has, you know, kid features, but she does the job as well as they would, I would say. You know, obviously not the fighting aspect with the strength, but in a sense of, you know, the whole thing with saving them. Did a good job. And then what happens? Muchi gets released. So what did you guys think of it up until that point? You guys can comment.
I thought it was nice seeing like the slavers again, because obviously we saw them in the Clone Wars. So you kind of see them, I don't know, in my aspect, you know how like the Empire kind of builds the Empire on slavers, and obviously it's the opposite of what the Republic wanted. So here they are trying to build up their empire again. So I kind of like that aspect of it.
Yeah. Were these the same characters from the first episode? Were they the rebels that were running away? I was wondering about that. No, I don't. Were they?
The slavers?
Don't think so.
The ones that were on. No, not Saluka Mine. No, not that one. The one before. The first that with Saw Gerrera.
Oh no! I think they're just
okay.
Just
more
slaves.
Just
random.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we do see that they do get caught, obviously, by these Zygerians. So we get to see them, which I thought it was pretty cool because they actually had the the light whip? Is that what it's called? The light whip?
Yeah.
Which I thought was really cool because again, we're actually seeing some of the things that we saw in the trailer finally come to life because that was what we saw. You know, so I was kind of wondering when we got that. And then, did you guys peep what Omega picked up?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was about time. I was wondering when she was gonna get the energy ball. I'm like, when is this girl gonna get it? Because honestly, I thought she was gonna get it on Dathomir. I thought she was gonna get it on. I was surprised. Wait, Dathomir? Yeah, Dathomir. So I'm like, it took a while, but I was like, yeah, dude. I mean, it's still a possibility they might end up on Dathomir. Could be.
That's probably why she has it. It's probably where they're going next.
Exactly. To be honest, so we'll continue that. I mean, I'll get into that after. So, all right. So whatever. So we see that happen, and one of the things I took away is we see the record, you know, go head to head with Muchi. Muchi. I'm sorry. It goes head to head with good old Muchi, and you know they just go at it, and he was perfectly fine. Keep that in mind. He was fighting Muchi, who is a big character, and he was perfectly fine. Mind you, last episode when he was fighting Fennec, it took one hit and he was down. So just let that marinate for a second before we continue. You know, as we go on, you know, just let that marinate for a second.
I did think about that. Yeah.
Yeah, let that marinate for a second, and we'll touch on it in a little bit. By the way, for whoever's here, please go like and subscribe to this channel and follow everybody that is here. We have some awesome people. Love the new logo. Shout out to my girl Sarah, who had a lot to do with the new logo. So thank you, Sarah. AKA the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
She really is.
She really is. She really is. So thank you so much. My voice like cracked on that one. But anyway, so let that marinate. But so as time goes, whatever, we see Wrecker in them. So I thought it was really funny when they were going at it, and you see Wrecker like, and like literally in slow motion. Shout out to the fans. The new logo is sick. Woo woo! Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we see that. I thought it was hilarious. Jim, I saw you laughing. You thought it was funny too?
Oh yeah, it was brilliant. They clearly worn each other out, and they're just like, and I was like, this is brilliant. I love it.
Who was the one that said they're still going at it, and they're like, yeah, they're still going at it.
Yeah.
So funny, dude. I thought that was funny. So we see that happen, and then they finally get Muchi, you know. I totally forgot. What is the actual name of that creature? Do we remember?
It's Rancor.
It's a Rancor, right. Not Ragnarok, Rancor. Okay, got it. I was thinking of Ragnarok, No, but anyway, so we see that happen.
Franchise, bro.
Yeah, right. Different franchise.
It's a good movie, though.
How do you same company?
Yeah, right. There you go. Just different, franchise. But get your franchises right. My gosh, you just changed your name today. What's wrong with you? So we see that happen. She had a lot of fun making it for you. Yes. Definitely tell her that I actually gave her a shout in the beginning of the video. So definitely, if you could let her know that, so she could watch it. What was I gonna say? So we see that play out. We see that they obviously Oh, another name that we forgot. What's the guy's name? That we see that was looking for Moochie. I forgot.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, Batuna, by Batuna, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, Beep Bop Boop, something La Fortuna. Yeah. Anyway, so we see that character, which we've seen throughout all of Star Wars, and we obviously know him from, of course, Return of the Jedi. Have seen him, now here and all the other, basically in all the shows I think we've seen him in. So, but anyway, it was cool to see that, it gives you that taste and that touch of, to be honest with you. Okay, so anyway, let me just continue. Anyway, so Moochie gets returned back safely, and the Bad Batch find out that it was Phoenix Shang that is behind it, and that she is a young bounty hunter who is now very well known and very up in the ranks, which is dope, which is really, really dope. So you guys can definitely talk and touch on the episode. So what do you guys think of? Yeah, I'm sorry. And then after that, we see they talk and they say, she basically says, hey, like, if you need help, whatever, like, let us know. Da, 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 da. And yeah, that's the episode. Dun, 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 dun. I know I'm doing the Star Wars one, but I forgot it. So, but anyway, what do you guys think of the episode? Go ahead.
I thought it was a good episode. I thought it was solid.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the action, especially like the whole Rancor fight. I thought all that was really good.
Yeah.
Even though it was a short episode as well, there was plenty of things.
The moment the episode started, I went to the kitchen, I came back, it was over. I had to watch it again.
That's what I was just going to touch on as well. There was that much in it, even though it was a short episode. I think because of the amount of action we had and the amount of things that were going on, it felt even shorter because we were just like, tuned right to it, and then before you knew it, it's over. And it's like, what? Like, come on, give us a half hour at least.
It's not over.
That's a tune, by the way.
That is. I hope I hit the note. I hope you guys liked it.
No, you didn't. I wouldn't give up your day job, Rob. Don't give up the day
job.
Come on,
bro.
I made some people make some tears up in here. No, but anyway, so yeah, honestly, I thought when I saw that episode, I felt like we really got like a taste of Return of the Jedi. I felt like there was a lot of key moments that really gave you like that. I was gonna say revenge, Return of the Jedi flavor to it. So I thought they did a good job, and I think that they're touching a lot, and I think that's why we see the story arc building so much. And like I've heard some people say, "Oh man, this is another filler episode. Oh man, this is another episode of just them landing somewhere and doing something for somebody or whatever." And it's true. Like, okay, like I get it. I could see that point. But to be honest, today they did what they did. For me, there was action. I saw that. And I think we can all attest to that. And we have to understand something. It's building a story. Like, for example, so let's touch on the whole record thing. Did you guys let it marinate?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So Paris says, I'm saying too much stalling and story not moving. I think there is story.
It's a very slow build up. There's going to be a bang. There's going to be a huge bang soon.
I feel like each episode is just introducing one of the whether you want to call it a problem, a threat, or different aspect of what's about to happen. Where you had last week, we got Fennec, and we got introduced to that whole thing, and then this week, even though it's not really directly, but you see Bib Fortuna, so you know it's going to go like Jabba the Hutt, and you saw those helmets on the wall, man. We're getting Boba. That's my prediction, baby.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where I'm coming for you, Mariah. I'm coming for you, girl.
I still don't think so.
You was high and mighty the last time you was here. So I'm coming, girl. I'm coming swinging right now. That's it. No, I'm kidding, girl. I'm kidding. No, so basically, look, I definitely believe that a young Phoenix Shang is definitely with a young Boba. I think that they are together. I think they are working together. I think the Kaminoans ended up hiring. Look, they ended up hiring Boba. I think it's between Boba and Phoenix Shang. Yeah, Fennec Shang. I think they are together, and a lot of those Easter eggs that we're seeing, I think, play a big part in that. Because again, we do know that. Listen, Phoenix definitely knows Boba. They have to know each other. They're very young. They're about the same age. They're not that much older. I'm pretty sure they know each other. I'm sure they have history. I'm sure this is where it starts because again, we have the Book of Boba. Like we know that we see them together in the Book of Boba, right? And I'm thinking that story arc starts here. This is where I think it begins for the two of them, and I can see it playing out throughout. I just, for me, and then touching on the whole thing with Wrecker, right? Like I know I'm like switching to that. So anyway, before I get to the Wrecker thing, what do you guys think of that one though? The whole thing with with Fennec and possibly with Boba. What do you guys think?
It makes sense because of number one, the Book of Boba Fett is going to be released shortly, end of this year, I believe.
Yeah.
So it makes total sense to have that kind of arc going on now to give people a bit more background. We've seen them in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But if there is more background there, it would be perfect to have them in the Bad Batch.
And I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna touch on why I don't believe it's Moff Gideon just yet, Mariah. But
Okay.
go ahead. No,
I think we'll see him, but I still don't think they're together. Maybe they'll run into cross paths with each other, but I still think she's working for Moff Gideon. I think they're in separate guilds. They know each other, and they may be able to work together. But I think, because Boba, he was hired in from the Empire, and I think she is too. So she could, he was hired in with Darth Vader, and I think she's hired in with Moff Gideon. So I think they're both in the same guild, and they work for the Empire. So
I agree. I don't think she's connected to Boba yet.
Yeah,
not at all.
So I'll say this, and this is the sleeper that a lot of us are sleeping on. Even though yes, Moff Gideon could possibly be a thing, but we still need to remember who also is around in this timeline as well, and who is moving up in the ranks because he's very much in Legends and also in a lot of the books. We still have Grand Admiral Thrawn that a lot of people are forgetting, and he's another character that also, if we do remember, Palpatine actually sent. Oh, go ahead.
In the books, I thought he came in 5 years after the Empire. It's in the books. I'm pretty sure he comes in.
It could be, but I will say this.
Yeah,
they're changing things up a lot. We saw what happened with Caleb Doom.
That's true.
That's true. A lot. And I'm not disagreeing with you, girl. I'm not.
Yeah.
But it could be one of those things where he's working on the low, just like Moff Gideon. And I'm not saying he's not. But remember, this is we're talking about Admiral Thrawn would definitely comes before. I would say he definitely came before Moff Gideon. Thrawn definitely comes before because again, he's been talked on. Literally, Moff Gideon just came into the scene. From what we know of, there's not much on him that we can say. Okay,
he was there on the night of the murder, of which was the Night of 1,000 Tears. He was in Mandalore because he said that in season. Was it 2? No, season 1. And that happens right after Order 66.
Could be.
So I'm still not giving up on Moff.
No.
I'm still not giving up on him.
No. Listen. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to give I think. Listen, you definitely have a point. Yeah. I'm just saying. I definitely believe if it's gonna be anybody before anybody, I don't see Moff Gideon coming into animation. Yeah. I see more Admiral Thrawn just because we've already gotten him, and he has more of a story arc where I can see where they can be. Yeah. He can be the one behind because he's very sadistic. He's very deceiving, where it'll catch you and you wouldn't even think that he was behind the closed doors. He was running the show. So it could be something like that. Again, we don't know. It could be something.
But then, do you think they're going to bring in Thrawn in animation, considering there's a very good chance that he's going to be a big part of the Ahsoka show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we had him in Rebels. Why not get him again?
Yeah, I know, but
for you.
But then you're going to have him in 2 different stories at pretty much at the same time, and there was enough gap between Rebels and Mandalorian for them to even mention Thrawn.
Yeah,
but then the same could be said for Moff Gideon. It could be someone completely different.
Here's a theory for you. What if they are? Yeah. What if it's both? What if they become entangled because of the Imperial? Because he is maybe Fennec Shand is working with Moff Gideon. Boba Fett could be working with the Empire.
I honestly, I'll be honest with you. I I honestly believe it's Boba Fett. That's honestly, I really believe. I know there's all these theories. I just believe it's Boba Fett, and it's that simple. But I love the theories anyway. But go ahead, continue.
I'm disagreeing with you with the Boba Fett. I just think that they're working together. Like she's not working underneath him kind of situation. But watch us all be wrong and it be that one Imperial officer that we saw at the very beginning. Watch it be him.
Well, which one though? Because he died, the one guy. Which Imperial officer?
The one who did made the chain codes.
Oh, okay.
Rampart.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's probably him. Honestly, that's what I would even say. You know what? I'm gonna go on the record and saying it's probably him.
Yeah, they're pulling a Mephisto on us, and that's who it is the whole time.
Yeah. This is why I definitely. This is my other reason why I guess I definitely believe it's Boba as well, because of the age. They're around the same age, so I feel like
Boba would be a little younger than Fennec.
Probably a little bit.
I would just say that chain code was mentioned, so whoever has a drink needs to take a drink.
Well, yeah.
You go get one.
We all know.
Well, he's actually, now that I think about it, because they said that he was supposed to be the main bad guy in the show.
In this show, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm pretty. At least, I mean, but Disney could be lying to us.
Well, no.
Disney lied to us, really?
Right?
Wow,
I don't believe that at all.
No, I mean, look, listen, right. Who isn't the villain up there? You know, but we won't even get into that here. Listen, I think there's so many speculations. There's so many theories. I'll be honest with you. I don't think we're gonna get Thrawn or what's his name? Oh my god, I forgot. Moff Gideon. I don't think we're gonna get any of these.
That's just wishful. That's above our pay grade.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'll be honest. I just really think it's gonna be something really simple. I think that a lot of people it's like all the series that want all the series that want Boba Fett. I mean, not Boba Fett. I'm sorry, Ahsoka. You know we're not gonna get Ahsoka. Like they're not gonna give us. I'm sorry. I know Mariah. I know you want Ahsoka. I see you.
No, actually, I'm okay with that. It's it's the whole X-Men situation that Marvel did that I was like complete. Like I'm still mad. I probably won't watch. I'm like hurt by Marvel that they pulled a DC on me. So
yeah,
that was awful.
By the way, I love the shirt. I didn't even notice this.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
Tatooine Traders.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I actually have my Ahsoka shirt here. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, that's sick.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No, I said I like it.
I was like, you
don't like it
live? Oh my god, you just broke my heart.
Even has it has Alec Guinness. It has all of them.
Nice.
On there,
the legend that is Alec Guinness.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's awesome.
That is awesome stuff. No, yeah, I mean, I don't really know. You know, it's one of the, and also too, like one of my things is so let's talk about the whole thing with Wrecker, right? So I was telling you guys to let that whole situation marinate. You know,
I like how you both.
So, I mean, how does that even make sense? You know, like we think about it, you know, in a sense of he literally just got rocked, and in last episode, like, and it wasn't even that bad, but here he literally literally head-to-head clashes with Moochie, and I'm sorry, Moochie, good old Moochie, literally just goes head-to-head, and he was fine. He was perfectly fine. Yeah, like other than getting fatigued, he was fine.
Yeah, but
literally,
they're giving him a lot of heavy hits for a reason, and the reason is that chip is going to.
It's turning.
It's coming,
and
that's why I think Daffomir's next. I think it's all going to happen at Dathomir.
I definitely think the next episode is gonna be with. I think they're definitely looking for Rex. Definitely. They need to know what to do to get that chip out, because let me tell you, he's going to be changing pretty soon, and they need to figure out something ASAP, because if not, he's going to turn and he's going to be a problem for them.
Yeah.
And that's not something that they're going to want, because I you know what I feel like is going to happen? It's going to be like one of those dramatic episodes or scenes where like he turns and like literally like he's about to like crush Omega, and Omega's like with the little doll, and like he's just like, my head, like literally like I have that image in my head. And like you're gonna see like Rex or somebody come out of the door and just like be like tell him like, you know, whatever it is they got to do to
blast him or something.
Yeah, I just feel like something's gonna
stun him.
They definitely got to do something dramatic, because I feel like it would make sense, because she has also a connection with Wrecker as well in that sense of like, you know, that kid form, because like, you know, Wrecker's a kid as well. You know, he's he's that kid that, you know, is just like fun, you know. He's like, what, you know, so, you know, but yeah, when I saw that, I thought about it. I was like, like he took a big hit now and he was fine. And then the last one, like he was just perfect. He literally knocked out and it wasn't even a bad hit. So that just kind of like blew my mind. Is like, I don't know. I guess like that's me looking at the writing aspect of it. Is like, does that make sense?
I saw a lot of people say that when he went to go for Finnick, she took him and used his momentum against him and threw him up against the wall. But even then,
but still,
even then,
you're talking about what is it called again? Whatever Moochie, whatever character this thing
Rancor.
is. A Rancor. I keep forgetting a Rancor. You know, that has like, I mean, you saw how big that thing is. Okay, a pipeline compared to that, I'm pretty sure. And you saw how Moochie was just throwing people around like.
They were the same size, pretty much, like going at each other.
Exactly my point. Like Finnick, like Finnick could literally like she used his thing and like literally let him hit a pole, but he still had his helmet on. Mind you, he went head to head with that with Moochie with the helmet on, and still was like perfectly fine. Like he felt, but he was like, oh yeah, I love this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it was like perfectly fine. I mean,
he probably wasn't expecting it was Finnick, but he was expecting it was the Rancor.
Yeah, well, so guys, I do have to say this. We have a special guest.
Uh-oh.
Are we ready for this?
Special guest?
Yeah.
This is a big brother of mine.
Who this could be.
This is a big brother of mine. And he's he's a Sith just like me.
Let me just tell you guys this. I can literally only stay for like 25 seconds, okay? Because I have my own stream happening. So I just came to show you guys some love. I hope you guys are having a kick-ass stream.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. You know, we love you. You know, I love you, Papa. Go ahead, say something.
Real quick, I have to say thank you to Fulcrum and the Force, my dude. You already know for what. It's going to be coming out here real soon. Thank you. Thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome, buddy.
And to Rob the Rogue Jedi, who is that? Who is that? That dude. He's lame. He's lame. We've moved on to better things, bro. Cut it. Change the name.
This is the Eternal Sith, Papa. There's no Jedi here. We Sith.
Let's get it moving. I'm sorry I wasn't here for the unveiling of it, you guys, but I love you guys. I hope you guys are having.
Actually, you know what? I know you got 25 seconds, and for whoever's here, I'm gonna play it just for you, Papa. I'm gonna do that just for you. So we'll do 15 seconds.
Let's do it.
Boom.
My dude. My dude.
So good.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Woo-hoo.
I also have to say a massive thank you to Jim because he worked on one for me as well. I still haven't got the sound right, but it's coming soon. So, Jim, dude, thank you, man.
Hey, it's all good.
Big ups.
I'm getting everybody coming at me now.
Talent right there, man. Talent right there.
There you go. There you go.
Rob won't leave me alone. He's just constantly like, hey, man, can you?
You know I love you, Jim.
Right.
I love you.
Yeah.
I gotta bounce out, you guys, but love to you guys. Mamba, Mariah, I hope you're doing well. Fandalorian, what's up, my dude?
Chilling, bro.
Love you guys. I gotta go.
Hey,
Have a good one, Zach boy.
We'll be seeing you, right, Papa?
Oh yeah, you already know.
Okay.
You already know.
Love you, Papa. We'll talk.
Bye.
Bye.
And
love
just
that
like
guy,
that,
man. Love that guy.
That
Just
is
love
big bro
that
right
guy.
there. That is big brother. So yeah, on that note, back to Bad Batch. Yes, we have to definitely talk. But anyway, so no, definitely we were talking about the whole thing with records. So yeah, what did you guys think in general, like when you saw that whole thing? I know we went into it, but what did you guys think personally?
I'm just waiting for it to happen already, I guess. Where I think, we're coming up on the halfway mark of the season, and I think, maybe if it's not the next episode, it has to be the one after where the chip finally goes. Because I've been, in the first episode, when Wrecker says, he's like, when they say, oh, Order 66, and he said, yeah, I heard that too. So the seed for this has been planted since the first episode. So I definitely think it's about to happen soon, and I'm sad about it because I like Wrecker.
How many episodes are we getting?
16.
So
we still have another 11. I'm sorry.
So yeah, we're still getting towards the half then.
We've got another.
We have another guest. We have another guest. Another guest. Yes.
We are being blessed tonight.
Yes. And this one came from traffic, was going through all highs and ends just to get here. I give you Simply Natalia.
yay.
She's
How
in
we
the
doing?
building.
We are doing great. We are stinging on the side because I am literally an hour out fresh of just getting my first tattoo.
You guys smell that?
How's the end?
Call a tattoo done in less than an hour. No, I'm kidding. There you go.
No, that was a 2.5 hour experience.
And that was your first one, right?
That was my first tattoo.
Oh, how do you feel? Go ahead. Let the fans know. Let everybody know how you feel.
So for the past 4 years, I've wanted a tattoo. Straight up. Like, I wanted a tattoo. I didn't know what I wanted. But for the last 3, I was like, okay, my first tattoo has to be a Star Wars tattoo. 100%. But like, as a Star Wars fan, you're like, well, what do I want as my first tattoo? Like, what is that going to be? That one thing? Because like, of course, people can go for characters. People can go for quotes. People can go for actual like beautiful floral designs. And with me, my favorite thing, I love lightsabers. Obviously, I only 3. I'm not on Sam's level.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be.
Oh no, we'll decide. But I wanted my my purple lightsaber, but I didn't know how I wanted it. So I literally, during quarantine, I was researching like all the tattoo artists around Orlando, what would be the perfect artist to do like the perfect lining for a saber. Cause I've seen some lightsaber tattoos out there, y'all, and some of them look really, really rough. So I was really scared and really nervous. And I honestly will be so blunt about this. I didn't see the design till today. Oh, wow. Literally did not see the design until literally I got there. And it was so beautiful.
I just saw it. I just saw it now. It's really
dope. I just posted on my story.
I know. I just saw it now just because I was like looking while you were talking. I'm like, oh, let me see it. It looks dope though. No, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Super happy for you, girl. Yeah.
I know.
Good experience though. Good experience though.
Yeah, I will say this. I was very scared, obviously, because that's the first tattoo. You're like, oh my god, how painful is this going to be? I gave it. Where it started, it was at a 5. When it got up near my rib, it was around a 7.5.
I gotta ask. Did you break a tear?
I did not. I did not cry.
Good for you, girl. I'll be on the record. I probably would. I'll break a tear. I don't care.
It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
My tattoo artist was telling me that the girl next to me was getting in the same area a dragon, and she had to tap out because it was so painful. Wow. And number one, I was wearing my mask, so I was able to hide my emotions very, very well. I bit into my mask so really hard, and I was grabbing the stress ball that she gave me, and I had my pillow with me, so I was grabbing it for dear life, trying to not break. But the only time I did cry is when I looked at it in the mirror, and I was like really emotional. Because I was just like, this is what I've wanted for so long, and now I have my first official Star Wars tattoo.
Good for you. Clap it up.
I'm praying that there's going to be more to come.
Clap it up.
But at the moment, financial-wise, we will wait.
I also have a Star Wars lightsaber tattoo on my arm.
Yes, you do. I've seen it.
And the thing is, so I was originally going to get mine on my bicep.
And then a Ahsoka on that arm.
Awesome.
Nice.
So
pretty.
And that's the thing. I do want an Ahsoka tattoo, but I want it to be so like unique because all the ones I've been seeing have been her. And obviously, like, I just wanted, I'm a big Ahsoka fan. I don't know if you can tell from my background. But,
Never. You are an Ahsoka fan? Really?
I thought you were.
I honestly just started watching her last week, and I thought she was really cool.
I thought you were a Yoda fan, honestly.
That's a lot of questions.
You know what? I'm not a Yoda fan. I'm a Greedo fan.
You're what?
Yeah.
I'm a Greedo fan.
Oh, okay, Greedo. There we go.
Who shot first?
Greedo. I'm just kidding.
That old Greedo.
Absolutely not.
There you go.
Old Greedo, yes.
There you go. That is awesome stuff. But no, that is awesome. I don't know if you got to hear a little bit of the talk, or you just, or nah.
I just hopped on.
All right. So I'll ask you before we continue. What did you think of the Bad Batch episode?
So
we can go ahead.
I kind of felt like it was last week. Like we're back in again with another story. But I will say this: I love the Zygerian arc from Clone Wars. I don't know why. I know like it was a time of Clone Wars where like Anakin's having to reface slavery again, which was horrible for him to relive, and of course Ahsoka being in that ring was terrible. But I don't know what it is. I just love Zygerian fashion. And I love
very
like
fashionable. I mean, I could say it.
They're very fashionable. I just like when I saw that on screen, I'm just like, I was like, this is. I hate them, but I love their outfits.
Especially the outfit they put Ahsoka in. Like I always loved that outfit.
Yeah.
Sorry, off topic, but
it's true. And I was kind of excited to see another young one. I forgot Mikey.
Moochie.
It sounded like Mikey when she was saying it. But no, Moochie. I like seeing another kid again.
But it wasn't even a kid. It was.
I know that was the worst part. I was getting so excited at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, that's why I was like, I began watching it when they said, "Oh, we're rescuing this kid." I'm like, yes, stop. I want to see more age ranges because obviously after seeing Omega, I will always say her name like that now. I don't know. I like seeing children in the Star Wars universe, which is why I was like really like bumhurt on the first episode when we saw what we obviously know it's Kanan as a kid, or what is Kanan, and I was like, he left, and I'm like, I want more.
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely. I think we were just talking. I mean, I think everybody here, for the most part, I mean, pretty much liked the episode. I mean, it definitely picked up from the last time. I mean, again, all opinion based. I mean, it did pick for me. It picked up. I know we were talking about that. I think the last thing we were talking about was, oh my god, about Wrecker. The whole thing with Wrecker in a sense of how literally, Fennec Shang literally just pushed him basically to the freaking pole, and he knocked out. And then the moment he faces Moochie, he's all good and stuff. But again, I definitely understand, and I see where they're trying to go with it. Any other takeaways? For everybody else, I know we've been talking about it, but any other takeaways that you guys noticed? Like I said, by the way, too, that's another thing for Moochie. We don't even know if that's the same one from Return of the Jedi. That's another thing. We don't know if that's.
It's not.
Well, we don't know. It's not confirmed.
The Rancor in Return of the Jedi has a different name.
They can uncanonize it like they did everything else. So.
Yeah,
right.
no, but that's the thing.
The debate
I was watching
right now.
There's really no. What's the name of it?
It was. I can look it up because I posted it earlier.
Yeah, they said it wasn't in a book or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, because I was watching it. I didn't hear a name in Return of the Jedi. I was literally watching that one scene. I didn't hear.
I don't want them to be the same Rancor.
Yeah,
because that would suck.
Yeah, because then you think
they're like, oh, look how cute this Rancor is.
Right,
and then it's just like, in a few years, Luke's gonna pretty much chop its head off. Don't worry about it.
I don't know how to. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, that's better.
That would be better.
Pateesa. I don't know how to say it, but that's the name of the Rancor.
Was it in the movie that it was set? Because I watched the movie. I think we could.
I don't think it was ever mentioned.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's and this is why I love the books, but at the same time, it's so hard because again, and I think we were talking about it before. They will literally change up the book. And that's the problem that we run into, because even look at what happened with Caleb Doom. There was still that change in a sense of, the saber thing, the whole thing with his look or whatever. They changed that from the comic to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things where it's always changing. They're always going to be changing. And same thing with oh my god,
they uncanonized the Ahsoka book apparently too for the show. So that's my thing. So it's what is really canon and what's not, and it's we'll say, oh yeah, and that's the problem now. Well, you'll have people in other channels really go debate really hard and say no, but it's in the book and this and that. But then you'll have Kathleen Kennedy come out and say, well, you know what, not canon anymore.
not canon. And then it's like, well, there goes that. Go ahead, Jim.
I was just going to say, it really annoys me that they've decanonized Ahsoka's book, because that book is incredible.
It's a really good book.
Really good, and it
came out with Disney.
It did.
Yeah,
didn't it come out last year, 2 years ago, or something like that, or last year?
Yeah. Well, since they had Disney, so did the Kanan comic book. It was all Disney.
Well, yeah, exactly. But like that book's so nice because
2015,
right? 2 or 3 years ago, I think.
Oh,
it was been like roughly 3 to 4 years ago, because I remember the tour that Ashley Eckstein and then EK.
Was it 2015?
Yeah, I thought it was like
it had been something like that, because like Ashley was. They were doing book signings, literally at Disney Springs for the Ahsoka book. I think it wasn't 2015. It was 2016 and 17 or 17. It was rough on them.
It was after Rebels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they were hyping that book up everywhere. So I'm like, it was really disheartening when they.
But that's because the thing is, there's important things in that book. Her creating her new lightsabers is in that book. Her getting the white blades and how she gets the white blades.
Trademark 2016.
It's a really important book, and the fact that they've gone, it's fine. Like, what are you doing?
And goes to show that Disney have not got a frigging clue what they're doing.
Or what they want.
And exactly, in any kind of creative way whatsoever, they have no idea what direction they want to take. They just have no clue. You know, they're bringing stuff out under their tenure, and then 4 years later, it's decanonized. It's like, what's going on here? You know, they have no idea. And I don't think they actually know. I don't think anyone at Lucasfilm or anyone associated with Star Wars even knows what's going on.
The crazy thing is if you go back before the Disney buyout and you look at all the books and how many books there were and how everything was so connected and everything was canon, and there'd be things in books from like 15 years, like BBY, and then it's like 25, they're still connected. There's still elements of, and it's just like, why can't you do that? Surely you've got enough people.
And then Kathleen Kennedy comes out and says, "Oh, we're gonna those books are not canon.
Don't worry about that.
We're turning
that blueprint."
Yeah,
it's like, what's the point in reading a book anymore? You know, I'm halfway through.
I've said that for years, though, mate. What's the point in reading a book anymore?
What's the point? I'm halfway through Plagueis just now. I'm really enjoying it. It's taking me months because I don't get time to read. I've got the Aftermath, the other kind of trilogy that came out. I've got them sat there. Is there any point in reading those? Yeah. Because by the time I finish them, they might not be canon.
Yeah, that's how I felt about why I didn't want Thrawn to come in this series, because I love the Thrawn books.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with it, and that's what I kind of didn't like Rebels, because I did not like how they portrayed him in Rebels.
They kind of died him down a lot. They died him down in Rebels.
I don't know. It's kind of like in the book, he wasn't actually a bad guy. He was just kind of a means, kind of like, I see him more kind of like the Zemo from if you guys watch Avengers and Marvel.
He's just more strategical.
Yeah, he's kind of like a means to like evil to necessary end. Like he's evil for a greater good, for a greater purpose type of character for me. Yeah. So I don't know.
And it's crazy because there's so many books written by the same author. Like Phasma's book is written by her. Padme's The Queens, have you ever read them? Wonderful. Yeah. Gives a lot of good, basically prequel to the prequels story of how Padme became queen. And I'm just scared. I'm like, does this mean that future authors have to now like hold back basically on their work? Just because we'll come to a point where it gets released, they canonize it, and then they're just like, oh, well, it no longer gives a shit in the Star Wars universe. Like I kind of like, my heart breaks for EK, because I'm just like, that Ahsoka book was so good, and like Fulcrum just said, had so much content that was so relevant to Ahsoka, and now it just like doesn't matter anymore because it ain't part of the package. And I'm like, well then does her work mean shit now?
Yeah.
It's not, but
It's kind of like how I feel about like there's my favorite Star Wars book is the Lost Star series, and how well that she worked with the like Star Wars fans to know exactly where the ships were at this time and know what ships to put into the book and like how much detail is like in those stories. And it's just it like you said, Natalia, just it's heart-wrenching for these authors to work for so many years on these books and then for them just to be, and fans love them and then they just retcon them just because they can.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that it's funny, like you mentioned that, and it's like I think about it, it's like, damn, like I mean, I wouldn't be surprised one day they uncanonize the High Republic eventually. Like I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, as time is going, yeah, but I give it like what, like 10 years, they'll say, oh, no, High Republic books, no, they're not canon no more. Well, we're gonna canonize them. That's it. I wouldn't be surprised. Go ahead, Mariah. I see you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was waiting for them to redo the prequels. I'm waiting for them to like maybe like the movies and like just animate them. And
no
yeah.
Way, man.
Oh, no. I'm telling you guys.
They've done that, right? I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something right now.
I'm telling you guys, in like 30 years, 30 to 40 years, they're going to redo all this.
We already have all George Lucas's versions of the prequels out there already.
And they're going to redo the. I'm telling you, like when we're old and like we have grandkids, they're going to redo the original trilogies and.
Nah, I think that to be honest with you, I mean that's cool. We're
gonna be like old, and they're not gonna care what we think.
I'll be honest with you. It's what like
we're gonna be the boomers, and they're
and I definitely to that point. Like I don't knock it. Like I'm not saying it's wrong. You know, I'm kind of like what Natalia said. There's a whole bunch like there's sequel scripts out there that George Lucas had. Like for example, Maul was supposed to be the villain for the sequels. Not a lot of people know that. So I definitely believe that, you know, like we might see maybe his versions in like maybe a comic book or maybe an animated series. They be. Who knows? But that I'll be like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not going to say that again.
No,
you're I just don't think it because they really, to be honest with you, they need to get away from the Skywalker saga. It needs to be done.
Oh, I think they will, but like in 40 to 60 years, they're going to redo all of this.
They're going to do everything. They're going to redo everything.
Just redo it. It'll all start.
We're going to hate it.
I mean,
exactly. We're going to hate it.
Listen. I'm old, right? I'm old as time itself. So by that point, I'm not going to be it. Don't care.
Yeah, right. You know, I'll stick with the Mark Hamill version and Hayden Christensen version.
You know what? Like I saw the originals in the cinema first time round. So anything after this is good.
I'll be honest with you. Like I personally, I would just love it I would love to see what they can do. Like I would love to see what they can do. And I think this is what they're having trouble with is getting away from the Skywalker saga. I think they're having a lot of trouble letting that go because, again, it is as much as whatever the sequels have their problems or whoever doesn't like them, and I don't knock it, but I think they're just like, for example, like we can transition now, and I think we've talked about it, but like Mando, that is the Iron Man of this whole thing. They are like I don't think and I'll be honest, I don't think they should like uncanonize the sequels. I don't think they should just leave it alone. Like if you want to sit there, like again, that speaks. Look, listen, not everybody has to like the sequels, and that's totally fine. But that is somebody's original trilogy. That is somebody's prequels. That is a movie that speaks to a Star Wars fan. That you know what, if that's what brought you into it, I'm okay with that, and I respect it because you know what, our fandom just grew, so I respect it. But at the same time, too, you need to let it go. And look at in Mando. Look at Mando, right? It had a formula that has worked. It had nothing to do with the Skywalkers. Now they're bringing Luke. It's cool, but did you really need to go that route? Because again, now seeing Luke, you know they're trying to fix it. And I'll give you this, and I've said it on a couple of my other videos. They literally said it. Oh, I'm reading what George. You guys are all young, so I seen the trilogies in theaters.
Oh, cool.
So did I. I'm not young.
So literally, this is one of the things. Is like for that. Do we really need it? Like, and then they're saying now that we're gonna get, you know, how do I put it? They're gonna be giving us Luke, Han, and Leia. You know, with the whole Jedi Academy. You're saying you don't want it?
Absolutely not.
Oh no, I don't want it either. I don't want it
not.
either.
Just keep Leia out of it because the one thing we all know that Carrie Billy Lord and Carrie Fisher's brother said is like, I don't want anybody replacing Carrie at all. Yeah. Which is why in the sequels it was Billy portraying Leia as her younger self. And unless that's going to happen within the future things,
this is the thing. So this is the thing that they said. This is the thing that they said. So they have unseen footage that they said that they can use because, and this is why I say this is all going to come full circle. So I'm going to mention this. I don't know if you guys know this, but, and I think I've said it before, maybe, I don't know. I know Sam probably knows this. They said that, so, oh my God, Dave Filoni was on the set of Last Jedi. I don't know if anybody knows that here, but he was actually on the set of The Last Jedi, getting walked through, with Rian Johnson. Now come full circle, time passes. It's been said that Rian Johnson wants to direct an episode of The Mandalorian. And if he does, he wants it to be a Luke Skywalker episode. So I'm like thinking, oh boy, here we go. We're about to really get into this. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, fine. But now what I'm thinking is that they are trying to rewrite the sequels. They are trying to, as much as they don't want to admit it, they're trying too hard because that is the push. We didn't need to know, like, think about it. We didn't, it's good that we're going to know what's going to happen with that Jedi Academy, and I think it's going to play a big part. Like, for example, I hope we get a young Ben Solo. Like, I think we need that, to be honest with you.
Please, and let's let it be Adam Driver.
That's what I'm praying for.
I don't care. Let it be Adam Driver.
Oh,
he does all his own stunts. Let him do it.
He's still young. Like, just use him.
He is. He's only, and people don't know this, but Adam's in his 30s, like mid-30s. Like, he's still young to do many, many things. Yeah. And so, like, bring back Ben Solo.
I'll tell you something. I'm in my 30s and I don't feel young. I do not feel young, and I'm 32 coming up this year, and I do not feel young. So,
you're just a kid. Shut up, man.
I'll say this. I do know. I forgot where I was reading it, but definitely, I'm convinced whether all this this is hidden somewhere in like the House of Mouse lockbox behind like Disneyland, underneath the tunnels, underneath somewhere that no one can ever find.
It's basically it's where Walt Disney himself is in the hyperbolic chamber chilling.
Exactly. But I am convinced there is a version of the Last Jedi that was directed by freaking J.J. Abrams that no one has seen, and the only reason why they allowed it to go to Rian Johnson, like, you know what? Let's see how he does it. But I'm convinced that he can pull basically. JJ can pull so much footage together. He could just rewrite The Last Jedi with his overused footage.
I'll give you a spark of hope. Unfortunately, I am a Sith, but I'll give you a spark of hope. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Actually, there is. I know everybody here has. I know Kevin. I know Mamba. Sam, you've probably seen it on my page. I've posted it. Colin Trevorrow. Does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah.
Okay. If it doesn't, it's all good. Go look at his version. There's a comic book version of his version of episode 8, which was what was supposed to be complete. When I mean it was fan service, it was fan service. Oh, yeah. Go look at it, and I'm telling you, Natalia, you will love it.
Send that to me so I can look at it.
Question: even though it's fan service, is there any voice of Adam Driver in there?
No. So this isn't a movie. It's a comic book. So Andrew Weinger, who is a writer, is a fan. He spent about a year with Colin Trevorrow because he wanted to understand what episode 8 was supposed to be. He got the whole scoop. It took him a year to come out with this online comic book. It literally gives you a scene with Vader and Kylo Ren. It gives you the scene of Rey, okay, not just as any scavenger. No, she was already a Jedi before we got her, like on Jakku, like how we see that whole play out, like that whole thing play out that she just wielded a lightsaber and she was already like with it. No. There was a story behind it. So it's way better. If you look up Andrew Weinger and Colin Trevorrow, it'll come up and you will find it. And I'm telling you, you will love it. When I posted that thing and when it was released, mind you, people who did not like this, and I'm not knocking the sequels, but people loved it. And I saw Jim before you were saying something, so go ahead. I know you can attest.
Yeah. So like, there's a really nice picture actually of Rey with a double-bladed blue saber, dressed it pretty much in Luke's Return of the Jedi garb, and it looks amazing.
See that. I did see that.
Like, the thing is, I always figured that Rey should have a double-bladed saber anyway because she always had the stick. I was like, why have you not done that? I love the sequels. I do. Like, They're not.
And you know what? I respect you, bro.
They're not perfect at all. And there's so many things I would change. And I've read the Colin Trevorrow thing, and I like that more. Of course I did. But I love the sequels for what they are. And the thing is now with the comics connecting, the Vader comic especially connecting to the sequels, it's going to be very difficult to unpick all of that.
Yeah.
Because the Vader comic connects to everything now. And so with Exegol being part of it, you're not going to be able to unpick the sequels.
I want to know.
The only thing I could see them doing is a comic book series. They did it before. It's almost like a Marvel's What If. And like they did it for the original trilogy, and they just changed one thing in each of the stories to change the entire run of everything that happens in the movie. And they're fascinating. I could see them doing that, absolutely. And then people would be like, they're better, make them as a film.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Sorry, man.
No, you
the only way that I could ever see them doing that is if, like, what if episode 8 and 9 was just like a complete vision by Rey?
What? Oh yeah, dude. I would honestly that's a whole nother one. Like, could you imagine
if they wanted to do that, then
or just go in between between worlds, kind of like
a between worlds. Yeah.
So this is what I did. Okay, so awesome.
I guess so.
Talk about this.
The minute that Rebels invented time travel, everything's off the table.
Somebody that cannot consult me. So okay, I'm gonna ask this question because I've said this before. Not everybody agrees with me. Do you believe that with Ahsoka, is that a different timeline? Yes or no? I believe with
the Ahsoka show,
it depends on how they're classing time travel. That's a whole nother story.
I know it is, but I believe just the fact that we have Ahsoka in that world between worlds. I forgot who I had this debate with, but I had it with somebody off.
I think she can jump through moments in time. I think it's all one time, and she jumps through the same moment.
No. Well, I personally, I don't want that. I don't want that. What I'm saying is that I feel like the moment the world between worlds happened, I feel like that changed up a lot of things. And this is what I said before, and this is my pitch. You're going to see a lot of characters that we've never seen before, okay, throughout all of these TV shows. And I believe the fact that Ahsoka, that whole world between worlds thing, I feel like is going to give us all these characters that we never knew about, and which is a beauty in it because, again, there is that domino effect that if you mess with time, because let's be real, let's be 100% honest, okay, I'm sorry. I think that if Ezra didn't save Ahsoka was done. She was on her knees. That was her death. Okay. So Ezra saving her, that changed the game right there. She should have been dead. So that's why I believe that period after that now, everything has changed. And I'm not saying major changes, but in a sense of you're going to get other Jedi that are going to spawn off from this. You're going to get new characters that we've never seen or heard of before. And that's what I believe that's going to happen after.
I think it's definitely going to be interesting when her show starts because we know that in the logo, they've used all the bits from.
You pay attention, bro. Thank you.
I have to.
Thank you. Somebody pays attention. Damn,
I actually forgot about that. I seen that a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It's literally the World Between Worlds logo. Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
It'll be interesting to see what direction they take that in.
I'll be honest with you. I just hope I hope it's not one of those things where they start doing time travel. They let Marvel. It worked for Marvel. Don't bring it into Star Wars. I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't want to see no time travel.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. Listen, I'm all for it in Back to the Future. I'm all for it in Marvel. I don't bring it here.
It would kill the whole franchise.
Because then it's
personally, I think if they want to get away from Skywalker, the only going back about 10 minutes. Sorry, if they want to get away from Skywalker, the only route they can go is Old Republic. I think Old Republic is something.
Man,
I've been saying. I agree with you, Sam, but I'll be honest with you. I don't want Disney to touch that. I really don't.
They're going to. They are. I can guarantee you. They will.
I don't.
Just get Zack Snyder on it, dude. Get Zack Snyder on the Old Republic, and I'll be happy.
I'll be honest. I really.
Agreed.
With Zack Snyder, I agree, but I don't. Listen. I don't think they're gonna touch on it now. I'll be honest. I don't want them. I want to see what they can do with the Acolyte. And the reason why I say Acolyte, because that's their show that is Sith. And that if that show executes and if that becomes their first rated R thing, I'll trust it. But if not, I don't want it, because if I see Knights of the Old Republic live, it's got to be gory. I'm sorry. When I look at Malgus, when I look at Bane, when I see all these characters, I need to see gore. I'm thinking like hands down, like brutal deaths, like bashing. Like I'm not thinking like regular Jedi kill. And that's not Disney.
So you've got to think of characters like Darth Nihilus and
I think
what he
Zach
is.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I think Zach could do that.
He could. I agree.
Do it.
Yeah.
They can do it, but think about it, guys. If they Disney it up, it's, I don't know. I don't want to settle for less, and I know they're not gonna get like as good as Zack Snyder is. And again, I put a video on it. I think he would do a great job, because he was actually gonna work on a video that was gonna be samurai like. So I could have seen him doing something like that, but they're not. They're very scared to touch that rated R route. They
have to be, though, because number one, it's Star Wars, and number two, it's Disney.
So then, how do you trust them with Knights of the Old Republic? Because I don't. As much as I love it and I want it, I don't. The movies themselves.
They have to do it in such a way.
I think they're going to introduce that, test it out on Marvel. They're testing it out now with Marvel. They're not going to, if they can't do it right, they're not going to touch it. So I do trust them with that.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to try it out with Marvel. I see them trying to go that darker route with Marvel, see how we take it. And if that goes well, then they'll do that with Star Wars.
Yeah, because fundamentally, Disney recognized that a lot of Marvel's fans are also Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
As well. And the thing that
Marvel fans are also a lot nicer than Star Wars fans.
Oh yeah,
agreed. Absolutely agreed. Agreed.
We'll take anything from Marvel. That's awesome.
But think about it too. I mean, like I feel like they're so much nicer though. I mean, wouldn't you be happier though all the time? They get movies all the time. Star Wars, we don't get shit. We get
exactly.
We have to be. That's why we have to be angry.
We had months of just nothing.
Yeah,
months, years. I mean, come on.
If you guys remember correctly, though, about 5 years ago, before Johnson even touched The Last Jedi, he was tipped to be getting an Old Republic trilogy as well. And then the rug got yanked out from his feet with that one.
And they were going to give it to D&D, and then they got that ripped out from underneath them too.
Yeah, so they want to do it. They know that they need to do it, because they know if they do that and get it right, that will make their acquisition of Lucasfilm worth it. That single subject will make the whole acquisition so worth it. That will make them so much money if they get that right. But like Rob says, it needs to be right, because if it's Old Republic and it's old school Sith, Malgus, Nihilus, Revan, people like that, it needs to be gory. Bane, it needs to be gory. It needs to be
a Darth Bane
trilogy, it needs to be brutal.
I'm gonna say this, and this is why I say it. Bane killed his father. I mean, and it was brutal. So if you can do that right, listen, I'm all for Disney doing anything. But the problem is that, again, you have to go off of the facts and the track record. They're very scared. That's fine. They're using Marvel as the thing, but there's a difference between Marvel and Star Wars. Marvel has a different flavor and a different texture. Star Wars, you have stuff, but you also have to be careful. And also, if we're really, like, if you look at Old Republic stuff, it's a lot darker. It's very, very dark compared to Marvel stuff. Marvel, like, it's great. I'm not saying it's not dark. Like a character like Deadpool, it's funny and it's cursing and everything, fine. But we're talking about gore. We're talking about massacre. Like, they have to think how they're gonna include this into Disney Plus. Like, they need to swallow that pill and be like, okay, we need to be careful, because a lot of kids watch this, and that's a lawsuit waiting to happen if a kid, because there's no parental control, if I'm not mistaken, on Disney. There's none.
There is.
There is?
Yeah,
you can.
And well, also, if you think about it, though, like you mentioned Deadpool, that wasn't Disney, so they're still trying to work out that key, too.
But that's what I'm saying. They're trying to tackle that. They're trying to tackle that, and they're having problems, because that's why. And that movie was supposed to come out. So they're having and they just put out something. I just read it. They said that Deadpool's supposedly not going to be rated R. I just read that article actually yesterday.
I saw that.
So right there, it goes to show you, Knights of the Republic. I'm sorry, guys. As much as I love it, listen, I bought a Malgus saber, man. I've read all the books for that. It goes out the door. I'm sorry, but it goes out. And I love you, Sam. I'm so sorry, but I love it.
They either need to bite the bullet and just do it, right? And incorporate it into Disney Plus with things like parental controls, whatever, right? Because that's the only way they can really do it and get away with it, right?
Yeah.
Because it would be ultimate fan service, right? And I mean fan service, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like people like us that know the kind of background, the history, the books, the comics, all that kind of stuff. It would be ultimate fan service. But what you need to think about is Disney wanting to do fan service? We've had a little bit with likes of maybe Ahsoka and things like that, you know? But do they want to go down that road of ultimate fan service, or do they want to go down just the pure marketing road of let's see how many cents we can get out of this franchise?
But do you not think
on it?
Yeah, do you not think that now that there's been this swell and push of the fact that we might actually finally be getting the Knights of the Old Republic 3, they're kind of first steps into that to see where that goes?
Were you talking about the video game?
Yeah.
It is. It is coming out.
Yeah. So that
there was rumors that it's going to be a remake. It's not. It's next to
full on 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact is, we haven't had one of those in how long? You know what I mean? Like I love those games. They're the best. Yeah.
They were on the original Xbox.
Yeah. I've still got them. I
have them on my Xbox.
I've got one on Origin. I started playing Knights 2 like last week.
Yeah,
so good.
Here's one for everyone. I'm interested to hear everyone's opinion on this. Do you think they'll ever touch the Plagueis Sidious thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sam, you know why I've said this.
And
that's my
direct. Will that be? Well, that's the thing. Will that be direct, or will it be skirting on something else?
It'll be skirting on something else. It'll be direct in a sense of, again, this is things that I've read up on. That's why I say the Acolyte. If you do your research, that show is the make it or break it for Star Wars in a sense.
Yeah.
People are like,
I agree.
People are saying Kenobi. No, it's really not Kenobi. Like it's really the Acolyte because that show is female based, which is great, which I'm so happy for. The beginning of the Night Sisters, and it also is the time of Darth Plagueis, the Wise.
Yep.
So you have 3 things you have to tackle. If you can do those 3 things, and for those of you who didn't know, I don't know if this is known, but Darth Plagueis, one of his first apprentices was actually a female. So this could be something that actually leads towards that. And if they do this right, and this is 50 years before the prequels, they do it right. And also, spoiler alert, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are getting Darth Revan in a holocron, so which is pretty cool. I'm actually excited for that. I'm sorry, hologram. So I'm excited for that. So that show is the make it or break it. If they don't do it there, bro, all bets are off.
Well, and you're completely right. You are completely right. You know that is the make it or break it for Disney. The likes of Ahsoka and Kenobi, they're going off of what's came before.
Yeah.
You know,
they've already got an audience.
Exactly.
That's sold already.
They've got an audience for that, and they know that, so they have to do it right, and it's winner. The likes of Acolyte and going on from that, they really need to be careful, and they really need to listen to what a lot of people are saying in terms of when they're deciding what direction they're going to take this in. Because if they go down the wrong route, they're screwed. And
who's directing that?
So it's she actually has done something on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I'll tell you right now, but she's done other things, but nothing too big.
Let me just let me check.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Leslie Headland. There we go. That's the name.
What has she directed? Can you look that up? I just want to know her credentials, and then I can tell you if it's going to be good or not.
She's actually done horror, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well.
Oh, that's it right there.
Yeah.
No, she's done it. She's done it. Well, hey, listen. Rian Johnson directed what? Didn't he do sort of Breaking Bad or something like that? Well, that was going to be the best, and look what happened with that.
Fantastic. Well, what Google says here, Star Wars The Acolyte is a Star Wars television series currently being developed, blah, 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 blah. Leslie Headland for Disney+. Headland will write, executive produce, and serve as the director. So she's got the full shebang. She's got everything, right?
Yeah.
Wow. She's got full creative control from what I can read here. So the show will focus on the emergence of dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic.
Yeah, what has she done in the past? Did it say?
Sorry, bro.
So she's done. So actually, the only thing she's done that I see that is probably something is called Russian Doll, which is a series. That's actually the only rated R thing she's done. The only thing she's done is the Bachelorette, Sleeping with Other People, and About Last Night. So she has not that much, but again, if she has a person like, for example, we know who's directing Kenobi, which is Deborah Chow. Jon Favreau is actually working with her. So if Jon Favreau, who took Iron Man and took it to where it is today and made it that great, if Favreau can do that with Leslie Headland or Highland, whatever, listen, that show can be great.
And plus, with Filoni's new role, she would have to go to him for like the story and all of that. Is this good? You know?
Yeah, I mean, literally, he is the man. So if you're gonna run something, he's the guy. He is literally the guy. And
as far as I'm concerned, anything that Filoni and Favreau touch is friggin' golden.
Absolutely,
it's golden.
Yeah.
I think they will use John as a consult for anything. To be quite honest.
Oh yeah.
Like, I agree.
I would literally, if I have
stupid if they didn't.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Just from a producer's standpoint, like going film production wise, especially a franchise like Star Wars, you're always going to need a console. That's why, although Dave Filoni directed the Clone Wars, George Lucas was by his side nearly the entire time. That's why when The Mandalorian came out with John, not only did he have Dave on his side, but George was also there. Like, there's always going to be a consult on these shows. And if Dave is, obviously, we all know Dave is very smart. We know he's the ultimate nerd, Star Wars nerd, I should say. So basically, basically a great production move to have John as a consult on all these shows, just in case. Because I feel like John, not only what is he an actor, but with him being a director, has just a lot of experience under his belt on knowing what the fandom wants. Because they did it with Marvel really well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember as well, two there are, no more, no less. And that's the thing. And it's funny because obviously that's a massive thing with Star Wars and the Sith. But when you think about it and you put Favreau and Filoni into that kind of bubble, always two there are, and you said it yourself with Filoni and Lucas, it was almost like an apprenticeship. It was almost like, and that's the way that I see Filoni and Favreau. If Filoni and Favreau have the final say on everything, I'm happy. I can relax. I can sleep at night.
It's the world too.
The
world too.
Correct.
Go ahead.
Don't let Kathleen near any of their consultation meetings. Just let it be Dave and John.
I'll be honest with you. I think she's on her way out. I really do believe so. I really
make a quiet exit.
Yeah, I think at this point, or she's just gonna be done with Star Wars. She needs to just fall back, and I think slowly but surely it's happening. And I don't think it has even done anything. I just think that Disney understands what Filoni brings to the table. They're recognizing that, and I think in time, I don't think it's gonna happen now, but I think in a few years you'll see her basically die out.
I think that's why Kevin Feige left Marvel.
Yeah.
I can see Kathleen going to another one of the franchises, but I don't see her leaving like the Disney realm anytime soon. But with Dave, I will say this: I am more comfortable with Dave getting the promotion he got versus anything else, because the one thing I appreciate about Dave is how hands-on he is, and that's what Kathleen wasn't.
Yeah.
She was not very hands-on. Like, she would go to set, but she was not hands-on with being like the ultimate Star Wars nerd.
Yeah, I feel like I know a lot of people want Dave to take Catherine's spot, but I don't think so because I feel like that would take him away from.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I think he needs to be in John's role, and then maybe John, because there's a lot more that Catherine does than just the movies. I mean, because she also does the marketing, she does
the theme park, she does everything.
Yeah. So that's why I think that someone like Kevin Feige can do something, or even Jon Favreau. But then again, I don't want John to just do Star Wars because I need him for Marvel. Because I need him for my. I love my Marvel, so I can't.
On the bright side, they all have blue IDs. They're all technically employed by the Walt Disney Company in some sort of way.
You can always come back.
They're all in the House of Mouse. But with Dave, I personally think him being as active in the shows and the movies is going to be very, very important. Like, I'm not going to lie. When Kathleen first joined Star Wars, I'm like, someone must have showed her Phantom. I mean, granted, no hate. Phantom Menace was my first movie. But obviously now that I'm much older, I wouldn't show Phantom Menace being the first movie you see as a Star Wars fan. I have a feeling someone showed her Phantom Menace. And then, like, we're like, oh, yeah, then you can go to the originals.
Yeah.
Which is why she's been, like, so, like, not as in tune. Because even at Star Wars Celebration, like, I felt more power from whenever Dave came on stage or any other host came on stage versus Kathleen. Like, Kathleen would be saying all these things on stage, and I'm just like, girl, do you even know what you're saying?
And that's like the game of every Star Wars fan's life is explaining. And we've all done it. I can guarantee you we've all had to do this at some point, explaining why you have to watch it 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I did give Carter a reason why I watched my.
Yeah, I really liked your reason. I've never heard that one before.
Yep, Rogue One, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Well, Solo's in there, but yeah.
Rogue One first, yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch it in kind of that order. You know, after you've watched it, watch it in any order you want. But if you're watching it for the first time, watch it in that order, because especially Rogue One now, because it leads so beautifully into New Hope. You know, and I love Rogue One. I think Rogue One was friggin' outstanding. I loved it so much. Like, I had no hope for it going into the cinema to see it. You know, I thought this is going to be an okay movie. Like, that thing had me on the edge of my seat the whole.
I was crying for the last 20 minutes, man.
It was so beautifully.
I called it the movie. Yeah, I called it the movie we didn't know we needed.
Exactly, we didn't know we needed it.
And it's also so perfect because that was also the year that Carrie had passed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like it was very sensitive. So when I finally saw her on, I think Rogue One came out before she passed, but I remember watching it again in theaters with my parents, and I saw her. Oh
yeah.
I lost it. I was so emotional.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, it was such a beautifully made movie. You know, and I mean, I remember when the Vader kind of scene came on, the first one, when Krennic goes to see him, and that frigging door just lifts up, and you have the shadow projected on the wall, and it was perfect silhouette. And again at the end, because you thought that was maybe it, and then again at the end, you know, you just hear the crunching metal, and all the rebel kind of guys are looking down the hallway, and then that blade just ignites. I'm not gonna lie, everyone at the cinema in Glasgow lost their shit. Like,
same.
This is happening. Like, really, this is happening.
I mean, for me, that's the best part of the movie. Honestly, I mean, I'm not saying the movie's bad. I'm just saying that movie to me was. I mean, that part, man. I mean, especially if you're like a Vader fan, that's something you just want all the time. So it was like, oh, we had to finally, and to see a Vader like that, that was just wow. Yeah. 3
things blew my mind in that movie. Number 1 was the Vader scene, but number 2, it was also Chirrut, because I loved him. I was like, we actually never pictured that him so in touch with the Force, that he's not a Jedi, but yet he's so in tune. He has it in some way. And then of course K2SO.
K2SO. How do you feel though about that? He's not actually not going to be in Andor.
I'm fine with it because I feel like K2SO came to Cassian at some point much, much, much later than what we're about to see him in Andor. So it makes sense that we're not going to see him in Andor. Because like K2SO was. I mean, dude, I'd be upset too.
Oh, people are upset at everything.
I know.
Literally.
Don't worry about it.
Facts.
Like,
culture we
you
live
can't make one move in Star Wars without someone being upset about it. It's entertainment. Just don't worry about it. Enjoy it.
Dude, you have people who sit there and like literally, me and Samuel, there's people who freaking like annihilate literally the writing of Star Wars.
Oh, I know.
I'm not gonna lie. I took my ex's two boys to the cinema to see The Last Jedi, right? And for the most part, I can now appreciate it a little bit more, right? But the first time I seen it, and you all know what I'm talking about with this, when you watch a Star Wars movie, it gives you a certain feeling that this is a Star Wars movie. I got it with Rogue One. Rogue One just felt like it felt like A New Hope. It just felt, and I don't know how. Natalia might be able to give a bit more kind of explanation as to how they do this, but they just somehow project like a feeling onto you, or like an ambience.
It's a sensation that when you see that the beginning part, even though Rogue One didn't have your typical dun dun like that opening credits, it didn't have that, but that moment of everyone was anticipating of. Like a moment of anticipation that was there. Yeah. I knew it was a Star Wars feeling.
I'll put it like this: Rogue One to me was a story the way the OTs were. If you think about it, especially A New Hope was a story.
Just with better.
Well, yeah, obviously better. Yeah, I mean, definitely different times. I mean, you got 1977 to now. Yeah, definitely. Well, it's just the story behind. Go ahead.
I was also blown. I don't know if you guys know this on how much Rogue One was CGI'd. Yeah. Like I was in Star Wars Celebration in 2017, and I was at the panel for Rogue One, and I would say maybe more than 60% of that movie is CGI, and I was so impressed because obviously a lot of those scenes were filmed in like Iceland, off the islands of, I believe it was like Scotland or Ireland or something like that. Or like
filmed in fact they filmed not far from where they're filming Andor right now.
Yeah,
which is literally 40 minutes from me. I'm going to go and check it out tomorrow because I know exactly where they are.
You should go. Definitely.
I've climbed that mountain about 100 times. I know exactly what spot they are in.
Thanks to who? Thanks to who? Who gave you the scoop, Papa?
Roberto.
You're going to be giving me the 411 so I could announce it.
But basically, that entire movie, the CGI just does so well, and it was not like overly done where it was annoying. It was like perfect in a way that
honestly,
cinematic
really good.
Works so well, and that's why I was just like, when you for those
Tarkin. I mean,
I will say this with Tarkin, I was really confused at first because I was sitting there in the theater and I'm just staring at the screen, and I looked over to my friend that I was watching it with, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that actor's dead.
I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sure he's dead. I know, and he looked so good that honestly, for a second, I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he die? Like I thought he was alive.
That was the feeling I was getting, and I'm like, this was done so well, and not even that, but a lot of the scenes filmed, for example, on. I
got the same feeling with Leia too, because like so many people were debating if that was an actress or if it was CGI, and I was like, that was CGI. Like
no, that was CGI. That was with her permission, but that's what I'm saying. After she had passed, her family was like, "We're not doing this again with her. If you want Leia, well, that's why Billy said, I'll play her. Let it be me." Or like basically, JJ went up to Billy. He was like, "How would you feel playing your mom?" And I felt that was poetically much better than hiring an actress to then be CGI'd. That's also why I don't think we'll ever see anything with Leia unless it's Billy Lord. And I think Billy's more. Here's the thing: I think Billy is more than welcome to go back to the Star Wars universe. She loves being there in the first place. Well, I mean, happened with her character in Rise of Skywalker. I was like, yes, give her more life.
She was literally born into it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think either way, if you bring her into it, it'll be perfect. I think it'll be a good thing because again, if you have unseen footage, you could just use the daughter. I mean, she looks like her mom too. But there is another character that actually I forgot. There was an actress that they were comparing her to that looks literally exactly like Carrie Fisher. So I forgot who it was, but I mean, listen, whoever looks like her, honestly, play her. I mean, it's like the same thing with Sebastian Stan. My man looks like he's a great pickup for a young Luke.
We were talking about this yesterday, was it?
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
So I decided to go live as I was driving home, and it was like, who was it? It was like you and me. Zach. Was Zach on there?
Yeah, for a little bit. Yeah.
Jake was on there. We were talking about Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
And the point that I made was, if anyone has watched the Fast and Furious movies, when Paul Walker died, they got his brother in, and they kind of like superimposed Paul's face onto it. Like Sebastian Stan looks like Mark Hamill did back in the 70s. He's fairly structured in the face and whatnot. But you could, if you wanted to, superimpose that onto his face and make it completely boom. You know,
I would say he has more of a rugged look. Sebastian Stan, I would say that he looks more of like, I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, but he looks more of like a man. You know, he looks like a man's man.
Well, that's good for the aging gap, though.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying because again, Luke, if he didn't like, for example, like he doesn't look like he had that 5 o'clock shot. Like I don't know, when you look at Luke, you get what I'm saying. Like Sebastian Stan has that 5 o'clock shadow always. Like it's just his look. You know, it's just one of those things where people like. I feel like Mark Hamill had more of like a baby face, but different. Yeah.
And when you look at Luke, I've done that, didn't I? When you look at Luke, when you see Luke in The Mandalorian, he has almost that kind of 5 o'clock kind of shadow kind of going on. So
yeah,
that could
yeah, that's.
I mean, that's because he's working on the epic beard for Last Jedi.
Why did I know that you were going to say that, Jim?
Hey, listen, man. Right, old man Luke. I love him. I'm sorry. I'm a massive fan of Last Jedi. I really, really am.
Dude, there's so many.
I love broken Luke. I get it. Like, he's me. Like, I would love to live by the sea and never see anyone. That sounds amazing. He's just everything went wrong, and he's just like, I'm not interested. Get out of it. That's me. I'm only here because I've got children, and they need me or something.
Or they drove you away. That's why you went into hiding. They drove you away. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I love him.
But that's
like, I get you. I feel you, man. I feel you. And here, every moment he was in it, I was like, I get it.
But that's what I was saying. You know, The Last Jedi, you know, like the likes of Rogue One gave me that ambience. It projected that ambience onto me, like I'm watching a Star Wars movie. Okay. I got it with The Force Awakens, right? I got it so bad with The Force Awakens. I didn't get it with The Last Jedi, you know, and my ex's kids were sat next to me. They were loving it. And I was sitting there like, okay, this is different. I'll keep an open mind. And I've said this joke so many times on here, but I literally felt like doing a Django and like pack your things, we're leaving, because it was
I literally for the Force Awakens, I'll tell you this, I got the chills because here's the thing, I made it my mission to see every single Star Wars movie, the first showing, on opening day, because
same.
That's just the kind of person I am. I don't want anyone spoiling for me. I also have a rule. Yep. I won't discuss Star Wars, a new Star Wars movie for a month. I'm giving everyone a month. You have a month to go watch it. If it's past a month, I'm sorry about it. I'm talking about it. We're moving on.
That's nice to me. I give people 2 weeks.
I give
a person 24 hours. So.
Yeah, you guys are generous. I give them 24 hours too.
The reason why I give people a month is because when I worked at Disney, the worst part was, oh my God, this is going to be a story that you're going to have you guys dying. So The Force Awakens obviously comes out. At that point, Kylo Ren and Chewbacca were meeting at Hollywood Studios. And obviously, back in the day, studios used to be open pretty late. Studios actually used to be open until maybe around 11 o'clock. So we all know the first showing was at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, at least in Florida. So everyone that went to go see the movie went to Hollywood Studios after. And right after they did that, these bastards, and I'm saying the word bastards because I would have never done this ever. Even I don't care if anyone in that performer outfit is not a Star Wars fan. They went up to Chewbacca and they said, "I am so sorry that Han Solo died." These people did not see the movie. These performers are standing there like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, one of my friends literally went off stage after that incident, and he said, "I need to leave because they're about to start spoiling for us." And I hate being a one to spoil something for somebody. I hate being that person. I'm like, go and watch it, enjoy it for yourself. I will say this: after I did watch The Force Awakens, I left the theater pissed, as I was so mad because obviously, like, I love Han so much. And when I saw that, actually, like, at that point, I was a very big Adam Driver fan, and I got really, really mad at Adam Driver. I was just like,
I was just surprised they didn't kill him sooner. I was just like, oh, well, he got his wish. That's what I said when I left. I was like, well, Harrison Ford got what he wanted. So
yeah, he's been dying though, didn't he? For years. Yeah. He wanted out after Empire, so that was his wish. He got his wish.
Yeah, he did.
You need to think about it though. It had to happen. If it didn't happen, then.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
someone had to go.
I was surprised they got him back for the Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. I was surprised he came back for that.
And that's one of those things is like people get so mad. And this is where like I agree. Like this is where like I kind of defend the sequels where it's like you can't get mad for these characters dying off. I don't want to see the tales of them being old, traveling the galaxy. Like I don't want to see that. Like introduce new characters. And that was the purpose of the sequels, which I understand. You wanted to introduce a new cast, a new crowd, and you had to adhere to a younger crowd. So I get it, but I mean to sit there.
But you did Finn dirty though, didn't you? Still.
Oh yeah,
they
did. They did Finn so
dirty. The ending of that should have. I mean, and then they
they
fixed it in the Lego Christmas special.
Oh yeah.
So you've made him a Jedi now. Why couldn't you do it in the film?
So
I know.
Well,
that was a slap in the face.
Well, think about the amount of fan service we got in The Force Awakens, though. Like, we got pretty early on Han and Chewie getting back.
We got a remake of A New Hope, yeah?
Pretty much. We did.
It's honestly.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
I love The Force Awakens, man.
Yeah, Force Awakens was good, man. I mean, I can't even deny that it was. Honestly, I really do like Force Awakens. If I had to say, and I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like for me, I don't know. This is for me. I didn't mind Rise of Skywalker, but it was just too many jobs JJ threw at freaking. At freaking I know.
They just dropped that
this video, no, but
he's getting passionate, people.
I know, literally, no, but JJ threw too many jobs at freaking at Ryan. I mean. Too many jobs, man. I mean, when you watched it, it was just a diss to Ryan, honestly, and that's what I got from it. And you could tell, man, he was just like, dude, you done messed up Star Wars. And that's why, honestly, like, this is why, like, I tell people, like, who defend the sequels. And again, this is nothing personal, but it's just like you could see in the movies themselves, like, especially Rise of Skywalker is such a testament when, it was made and you watch all these little things take jabs at, Last Jedi. And I'm just like, damn, bro. Like, y'all went in.
Speaking about jabs,
I don't know. Wait, what were you saying, Sam?
No, go ahead, ladies first.
I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I would have been okay with. Obviously I love all Star Wars movies, and I did like The Rise of Skywalker. I really did. I would have been okay. I'm that person that if you can sit through Gone with the Wind, which is a 4-hour long movie, with no breaks, I would have been okay with an extra hour of Rise of Skywalker, just some of these storylines weren't so rushed, because that's what I kept feeling. It was just kind of like time jump. I'm just like,
I sat through Justice League. I sat through Justice League for 4 hours, so that was amazing.
It's a good movie.
Yep, loved it.
Well, that's just it. It got expanded, and you got all those story elements.
The Zack Snyder Justice League.
Let's not even get into that. That's like one of my favorites. Right. And I'm like a Superman fan, so I was like,
DC was my first fandom. So when I saw that was
got the end count.
Yeah, see,
nice.
Yeah, you know it.
That's what got me into.
I'll give you a quick story. I'll give you a quick story on me. When I was a kid, I literally went to school. I kid you not, first grade. I went to school all day. I had under my actual school clothes, like just regular. I had a Superman outfit, and I was drenched in sweat all day. But was
Rob was ready to save the world. Literally, dude. Was going to go on, Rob. Bam, right there.
Bro, honestly, because I forgot. If we all know the original, obviously with Christopher Reeves, like that was like that's my Superman. Like I grew up with that. And like that, when I saw that, I was always like, I have to be Superman. I want to be him. And like literally, I will never forget. Like honestly, it was so funny. We went to a diner to eat after I left school. I had to use the bathroom. I was like, how do I go to the bathroom right now? Mind you, I didn't have no whole. No, I had to like take off everything. And mind you, this was the summertime, so this was like in June. You know, it was like what, like 90 degrees outside. I was drenched.
Dude, my eldest kid's called Reeve after Christopher Reeve.
Oh, dude, that is so awesome, bro.
Sweet, man. That's awesome.
So awesome, bro. So sick. No, but
yeah, I was a Wonder Woman. My mom, that's my mom's favorite. My mom's an 80s baby, so she made me watch all the old Wonder Woman TV shows.
Can you say that again, please? Your mum's an 80s baby.
She
was born in the 70s.
Well, she was born in the
50s. Wait a minute. I'm an 80s baby.
My mom was born in 79, but yeah, she was an 80s baby. So
she's still a year younger than me.
Damn. Wait a minute. Oh my God. Wait, Mariah, how old are you?
I am.
Well, your mom's young though.
She's 20. She had me when she was 20.
Yeah, because I'm like, your mom looks young.
Yeah, my mom is I'm 20. I'll be 28. Sorry, I had to think about my age there for a second. But no, I don't look my age at all. So it's all right. I get confused with like 19 to 20 years old all the time. But I'm not. I'm almost 30. Cool.
Wow, there you go. Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, for me, I'm 3 years away from 30, so I'll be there. I'll be with you.
I'll be 30 this year.
Oh,
actually, we're coming up on June, so it's in July. I'll be 30, man.
Bro, listen,
it's all downhill from here, man.
Am I the youngest one in here? What the heck?
Yo.
How old are you?
20. I'll be 22. What's today? Probably like next week.
Oh, I wish, bro. I wish.
Yeah, probably next week.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know what day it is today.
Yo, Kev, bro, we gotta link up, bro, because I know we from the same hood, so we gotta link up. Yo,
yeah, man.
We going hard. We going Star Wars. We'll be drinking a lot of Space Wizard juice for your birthday, bro. I got you.
You know the funny thing is, I get mistaken for like late 30s all the time, but Jim gets mistaken for Palpatine.
Damn right. No, he's right.
Oh my God, dude, that's so funny.
No.
Dude, can I just say something real quick? Did anyone like catch at the start of Force Awakens the very first line? What was the very first line of The Force Awakens?
Oh man, you'd have to refresh it, bro. I mean, it's been
because I am so sure this was a massive jab at the prequels.
Are you old? Are you look? No. Hang on.
This will begin to make things right.
See, I feel like, Sam, if you're gonna say that, you gotta know it, bro. You gotta know it, bro.
That theory was going around for so long that was a massive jab at the prequels.
Yeah, I don't think so, because honestly, I didn't even hear about it. I'm being honest, I didn't hear about anything like that. Yeah, see, wherever I heard a jab, honestly, the only jab I heard, honestly, was everything from like Rise of Skywalker. You know what it is, bro? It's probably when Rise of Skywalker took over, it just erased whatever happened before, bro.
I'm telling you, man,
I mean, it's amazing how many people started to love Last Jedi the minute Rise of Skywalker came out, and everybody hated it at first. And I'm like, that's interesting. You said you hated it before, and now you loved
it. Wait, whoa! You said people loved the Last Jedi when Rise of Skywalker came out? Because that's the opposite.
Yeah, people hated Last Jedi.
Oh no, people still hate that here.
They're like, no, I hate this more. I really like Last Jedi.
Oh, I'll give you some account.
I've heard that too. I did notice a lot of people were liking Last Jedi after they saw.
All of a sudden, it's not everybody. Everybody doesn't hate it, and I'm like, I never hated it in the first place.
Oh man, I know so many people that hate.
Well, I remember when people hated the prequels.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to hold my hand up for that. So here's the problem, right? Here's the problem.
Oh,
no.
I'm joking.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say. The more I've watched them, no, sorry, I can't do it. No, you're right. You were right in saying what you're saying. Every trilogy is somebody's trilogy.
Yes. Yeah. Every generation has their own trilogy.
Exactly. And I grew up with original trilogy. I was 5 years old when Return of the Jedi came out.
And you guys had hate too. You guys had hate too with the Teddy Bears. With Return of the Jedi, Teddy Bears. Y'all hated it.
Yeah,
hated
right.
Bears. And then what happens to the prequels?
And then the prequels came out.
Jake Lloyd. I'll just say that one name. If you know one,
and we were just like, this isn't this isn't Star Wars. What have you done to this, George?
You know what it is?
No, none of this. Who's this Jar Jar? He's not Han Solo. And it all begins again.
You know what it is?
You guys, the younger generation, that's your trilogy. And you're like, no. You got this wrong, old man. And I'm like, tell me why I'm wrong. And you go...
I'm going to tell you one thing. One of my favorite movies, other than Revenge of the Sith, I would have to say my number one is Empire Strikes Back. That's the movie that I remember literally being conscious to life. My father watching, and I think we spoke about this too, Jim. Laserdisc, like that was like my thing, you know. So I can attest to the OTs, hands down. I mean, Cloud City. That fight is, just it's the most iconic Star Wars thing that I know. You know, other than it being, you know, obviously Revenge of the Sith. You know, with Anakin and Obi-Wan, like I get that. That's another iconic scene. But dude, I mean, look. As I said in the beginning of the stream, at Mariah, you said it. I mean, again, each trilogy is for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They grow up with it. They watch it. It speaks to them. So each trilogy is going to speak to somebody. Just like Mandalorian.
This is what I'm saying. No, absolutely. Like, once I got over myself and I was like, wait, it's still Star Wars. Let me get out of my original trilogy can only be original trilogy head and watch it for what it is. Yeah. They're not my favorite Star Wars films. They're not. But there's enough in it that I love. And it spawned so much that I adore. I love the Clone Wars show. I think the Clone Wars show made the films better because it expanded that so much and gave us the story of Anakin, the story of Obi-Wan that we missed in between, for me, especially between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. You know? But I took my kids.
I'll be honest. I want to interrupt. I'm sorry. I like the Clone Wars, but I don't love it because the whole thing with there's too much confusion. I don't know. The cartoons did a little back and forth with the Bendu, the Wills of the Force, and you know the fathers. There was a little bit too much. I think you know what I'm talking about. If you do, I don't know. But it's just
no. I know.
That's the only thing I don't like.
See, I like that. I like because it's all lore, and I'm like, give me more lore.
I just wish that they stuck with one. That's
Wills.
I just wish you need to stick with one. Which one is the one that started it all? That's all I'll say to that.
Yeah. Continue. No, I do agree with you. But then like I took my kids, like my dad took me to see all three films, and unfortunately he's no longer with us, so he wasn't able to see the sequels, but I was able to take my kids. So it became a whole thing for them. And like I asked my youngest, what are your favorite Star Wars films? And he's like, Phantom Menace because Darth Maul's amazing. I'm like, that's the right decision.
Could you imagine if you got him in the sequels as a freaking villain, bro? I would have
right. And then he was like, Last Jedi.
In this day and age, they would have. Oh my
god. No, not Last Jedi. It's like then The Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker because I like Rey's story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there it is, right there. You know, he's 10, and that's his trilogy.
Yeah,
there's something for everyone, and I think that's the beauty of it.
And that's that reminds me of like you sound a lot like how my mom felt because my mom, she liked the original trilogies. Of course, I like the prequels, and my sister, she's the sequel. So we're each generation. But I remember my mom taking me and my brother to go see Phantom Menace when they did, like, I think was it the 10-year anniversary back in theaters. They re-released it. And my brother, he's 10 years younger than me, crying when Anakin left his mom. And, you know, he's crying, saying, and my mom like looked over and was like, why are you crying? And Bryce was like, it could happen to me. Like that could happen. My mom's like, Bryce, you're not a Jedi. Like this, like, like this is not happening. Like she had no connection. She does not like the prequels at all. I don't know. She's just part of that generation, but she likes the original ones. But that was just her.
Well, she's my generation. She was born a year after me.
And it's funny because my father's like, he was 58, and like, I'll be honest, he I don't even think he saw the sequels, to be honest. It's so sad, but he didn't. Yeah. Like he literally saw the original trilogy, obviously, and then he saw the prequels, and like that's his Star Wars. Like,
same.
He won't even touch the sequels, and it's unfortunate because I understand it, but it's like. You know, and again, this is not a job. Like, listen, I don't
think my mom's seen the sequels.
If you're 50, I'm telling you, if you are a kid, like if you're a parent from like the 50, like I would say 70s before, you probably haven't even watched, to be honest, the sequels, because there's nothing for you there. Like, honestly, your story was Luke and Anakin.
Yeah.
You know, like, meaning Anakin / Vader. After that, sequels really have nothing to do. Like, even though they say like, oh, it's the tragedy of Vader, it really has, like, I've heard that term thrown around, but it really has nothing to do with that. Like, you don't really get that in the sequels, to be honest. Like, they could have touched on so much Vader. They could have touched so much more. And that's one of the flaws that, it upsets me, because that was a missed opportunity. Like, I mean, show of hands. I mean, one of us had to have been waiting for something with Vader, like to see an image like that same cave scene with Luke. Like, and be honest, like, don't lie. Like, listen, I'll be honest. Like, I wanted to see it. I mean, I don't know how you could tell me that you would not want a Vader scene. Like, I don't know. That's just crazy. But I mean, I personally was like, I have to have one.
I wanted to see Anakin talk to Ben.
Oh yeah,
that's what I wanted. But of course,
I would have taken that too. Honestly, I would have taken that, because obviously we know that he does turn once he obviously passes. He dies. So that would have made sense when him talking to Ben. That would have made the most sense. But again, execute. It's all about execution, and they need.
I still stand by the fact that the end of that shouldn't have been her burying the lightsabers in the sand. It should have been her.
I
Ben,
told you.
And Finn all together, lightsabers each, walking off to start a new Jedi Order.
I agree with you, dude, and that's why I always say this. They didn't take the sauce of the OTs, which they should have, and that's honestly that's the real tragedy of the sequels is that they all weren't even together until freaking episode 9.
Exactly. Yes. They missed.
That's why I always say it. People say, "Oh, well, okay, I don't even care. You could prove any other theory, but the fact that you couldn't get all 3 of these characters together until the last movie."
Exactly. And that connection between all 3 of them was great. I loved that.
Oh, you're talking about like the sequels, right? Like it was amazing. Ray, and literally
I love Poe and Ray's action of them just going at it.
The only thing I didn't like, and I mean, I put a meme on it the other day. My man is just only saying Ray. Like, bro, just freaking tell her what you.
He went from a rogue stormtrooper,
bro, like,
so interesting, to just screaming Ray.
Yeah, like
that character arch makes 0 sense.
And desperate to tell her something that.
It was probably like, Ray, I love you. I just want to marry you. Like that's literally what it is. And to end.
He was just going to tell him that she was a Jedi, because that's what she says. That's what he says in the book. He tells her in the book, like,
that he's force sensitive,
and then Poe and Ray both say, "We know."
Yeah, so. And that's my thing.
Why they couldn't have put that in the film? Like,
right?
They don't listen to the books. And Alan Dean Foster, who wrote Splinter, the original, and Jim, what I'm talking about. If you do, he wrote Splinter. That was like the version of A New Hope. Okay, he wrote Force Awakens, and when he was like, "Yo, you guys didn't even put half the things I wrote in the book into the movie," he was like, "What the hell?" If you go watch Star Wars Theory, I watched that whole interview. My man literally wrote that book for nothing, and that goes to show you that they do not care about the books, the comics, nothing. But guess what, Marvel, and that's why Marvel, and I'll say this, and I'll say it now, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Marvel will always be successful because they follow the comics and they literally listen to what the comics do. Yeah. And that's why they are so successful in it. Look at WandaVision. Literally took the remedy from the comic book.
Well, one comic book. There's like several. That's the thing.
I know, but I'm just that's the other thing. Is like, but I'm just saying, like, they have so many different timelines and storylines. But you're always going to get something right.
But they took something from it. They did take one of the comics. Like Star Wars won't do any of that. They won't take any comic. And the comics for Star Wars are phenomenal. Like literally, I collect all of them, and they're phenomenal. Like this Vader series is phenomenal.
Oh, it's incredible.
And even the old ones are great.
Do you think maybe it's because they feel like since we saw it there that we're going to want something different? I think that's maybe why they do that.
I just think that I think that because again, the writers are fans, so they're just filling in the plot holes that people want to know that we didn't get in the movies. As Jim said before, why don't you follow the book? That's why, because nobody fills in the hole. So that's why you get the comics, and that's why the comics are so awesome because it fills in that gap. You know what I'm saying? So like the whole thing.
But then you shouldn't like as much. I love them and I read them all, but you shouldn't have to go to a comic to fill out a story. That's not how that works. That's not how it should be.
I agree with you, but again, it's like you do have the story there or a book. Take what you have. Use like if you really can't come up in the writer's room, if you can't come up with a formula, come up with like we know this comic book or book sold really well. We can follow this remedy. Follow that remedy. It will take you home. Because again, look at the Ahsoka book. People loved it. Now that it's not people are upset about it. People make videos about it. So that goes to show you that they're not listening to the fans. And that's why I hope not. And I made a video on it. I'm hoping that Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, who are two awesome people, and Jon Favreau listens as well. He's another dude. He's a New Yorker just like me and just like Kevin. We don't play. So Jon Favreau is going to get the job that he ain't going to take ish from anybody. And my bad. That was a rant, but it's the truth. That's the damn truth.
One thing that I'd be interested to know.
Yeah, no, I had to, bro. I had to.
Because I can't believe for a second that anyone sat in that editing booth or whatever and actually thought that the cut of The Rise of Skywalker that we got was okay. Because of the gaps, because of, again, go back to the one that's been.
That's why I wonder if they're going to continue like doing like an animated series, like kind of like a Clone Wars or Rebel style show, and continue with those characters later with the animated style show.
I'd like that.
I hope so.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
So,
I just wonder.
There's one mate. The biggest problem I have with The Rise of Skywalker is the dagger.
Yeah.
Because that dagger has to have been made specifically for when the Death Star landed, but it's got ancient Sith on it. Who made that? Who put it there? Who stood on that side and went, right, well, the Death Star's there in the scene, so let's make it point to that. This isn't the Goonies.
It's going to break up in the exact way. It's going to land on this moon. It's going to be exactly here, and this is going to all be.
So that had to have been made after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, by the cultists. I'm just going to say it's made from the cultists. So
right, let's just.
I don't know. That's just
an out, right?
Right.
I mean, the thing is,
why are all those Star Destroyers buried under the ground? What are those people just always milling about underground?
Yeah, like the Sith. What are they? Sith troopers chilling down there, like just with no oxygen,
just chilling, man. And they're like,
buried. That's it. They were just buried.
Like.
And they were. I'll be honest with you. They were such a cool concept, and the fact that we only got two scenes with them, and they hyped them up in the trailer. Oh my god, they hyped them up like they were supposed to be the biggest, baddest freaking trooper. Because again, we know they can't shoot for life. So I mean, they were supposed, and they still died. Still died.
And this is the thing as well. Going back to earlier on, when we were talking about the Bad Batch, we're talking about we actually seen something kind of today that we've seen in the trailer with Omega, whatever, getting that energy ball, right? And I was actually going to say at the time, when do we ever see anything in Star Wars content that we see in the trailer? Because it's always different. There's so much stuff in trailers for Star Wars, we never see it.
Well, I felt like Star Wars. I have to say, I felt like Star Wars was really good about that. It was like I had that problem with Marvel because Marvel does that on purpose.
Yeah,
they make trailers.
Well, they take stuff out, don't they?
Yeah, or they'll put stuff in that's not there. Like Marvel is notorious for that.
Well, look what happened with John Boyega, though. Let's not forget Force Awakens. Why he was supposed to have that. They cut a lot, like from the actual trailer. They took a lot out because he was actually supposed to have more of a role on that trailer, and he was set up for more. And when the movie came out, that's why he was so disappointed because there was a lot of cutscenes in that movie from him. And he was pissed. And now the fact that I'm going to be making a video on this tomorrow. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but he's saying that a video resurfaced that, little buzzer, that he wants to come back and he has no problem if it's with Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams. So I don't know. I mean, I have a scoop on that, but I'll be putting a video tomorrow. Trust me, I'm prepared.
Disney has the money to bring all of them back.
Right?
Money talks, girl. I'll say it then. I say it now. Money talks. Mm-hmm. That Benjamin talks good money. That money, great. So I don't know. I mean, we have to see. But yeah, guys, this was an awesome one today. This was a really awesome one. I'm super happy you guys got to be here for the release, right? The release of the Eternal Sith.
Play it one more time. Play it one more time.
One more time. All right, I'll play it one more time. Just one more time. We'll do it before we sign off.
Again.
Do it again. Do it.
That thing is just
so awesome.
It's all right, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it's truly
really, man, like
truly unbelievable. I mean, wow. I mean, today, like I said, I'm so blessed to have had all you here. Jim, thank you so much, man. You know, all you guys, I'm really appreciative of you being here. Every week, you know, we do this, and we're grateful for everybody who comes on and watches this stream. It's truly epic and truly an awesome journey. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Carter. Thank you, Mariah. I really appreciate you. I know you're going to be busy. You're going on a 8-day hiatus. So
yeah, back to being a nurse.
Yes, go do your thing, girl. Go save some lives. Guys, go follow every person here. Follow them on Instagram. Subscribe to their channels on YouTube. Yeah, awesome people that are on here. Usually I have my rogue. I mean, Sam, you know, you guys know, like I usually say something, you know, the rogue Jedi thing, but I haven't come up with the Sith one, so it's gonna take me some time. So give me some time. But I really do appreciate you guys coming in today. You know, turning into the eternal Sith side now. I'm no longer a Jedi. I am a Sith. So that's why you saw the Korra band, you know, picture. But again, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you're always in the know. And just subscribe, like and subscribe. That's all I can really say. And on that note, we will be ending this. And may the force be with everybody. Later, guys.